Dave from Rehousing. Another March Madness video. Are you guys sick of me yet? People keep saying we won't get sick of you, but I have a funny feeling you're gonna. I'm getting sick of me. So anyway, the new home for the Ceratogyrus darlingi. This time I gave her something in her enclosure, just a piece of wood, and I did a starter burrow for her there. I'm going to show you how, hopefully I'm going to show you how I get her out of there, her old enclosure, and getting her into this one. We're gonna hope it all goes smoothly and we can film it, because I'm going to film it the way that I generally do it. So maybe this will help you guys. I know I've explained it before, but I did that without doing it with a spider. So let's try and do it with her and see how cooperative she's going to be. So the things that we're going to be using is, of course, the enclosure with the spider in it. And there she is right there. This wooden skewer. This piece of plexiglass that will replace the lid here. And this 50 dram vial with holes poked on the bottom. And I'm going to show you exactly what we do. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully you guys will be able to see the whole thing. So first thing is we're going to take the lid off of the 50 dram vial. We're going to take the lid off of here. We're going to put the vial in here, and then we take the plexiglass and we put it over top. And you can see now that this completely covers the whole entire lid. I have holes drilled in there. I'd like to have more holes drilled in here, because sometimes I have to maneuver this. You know, you may have to turn it different ways, but this should cover this whole entire enclosure the whole time. So with that being said, and hopefully you guys will be able to see this. I'm hoping anyway. So the first thing you can see, you're going to see the stick going in. We're going to try and get her up. We can get her up to the surface is what we want to do. And that's not going to be an easy task, because she is a baboon and she already wants to eat the stick. Okay, so now we have her up. Now what we want to do is guide her into that 50 dram vial. Sometimes you don't have to be very, look at that. See how easy that was? Okay, she's in. Now that she's in there, she's not going to go anywhere. And you just take the lid, put the lid back on. Voila. Spider in a bottle. Very quick, very easy. That took me, what, 25-30 seconds to do. She was a little bit more cooperative than I expected her to be. But so now we bring the new enclosure. We put the 50 dram in. Pull the lid off. And when I drill my holes, hopefully these holes will work out, because a couple times they do, sometimes they don't. You can see now I'm using the ventilation holes in the side. Now we can do it this way as well, where I will move this vial back as far as I can get it to go. And just by shaking it, she's going to come out, hopefully. There she is. Okay, so she is out. There's the beautiful girl right there. And the way that I'll work this is, you could do this a couple different ways. You could say, okay, well, let's let her settle for a second, or you take the lid. Let me put you guys up here for just a second so you can kind of see from the top view a little bit anyway. Bear with me while I set this tripod up the right way. Okay, so the spider's over here. So if you just take this plexiglass, slide it to a certain point, grab your vial, take it out, slide the lid back on. Now you're ready to put the lid for the actual enclosure on. And again, you slide this oops. There we go with this tripod, the weight, counterweight. I gotta get counterweight for this thing. That's what my next goal is, to try and figure out counterweight so that that doesn't tip over like that. So anyway, now you take this piece of plexiglass, and as you're sliding this off, you're sliding the lid on, and there's no way that your spider can escape. So we have a now beautiful new home for my lovely Cinguita, the Ceratogyrus darlingi, female. Hopefully she'll take to that burrow right there, and she'll start digging and webbing all around that area. I'm pretty excited to have her in something. Although I do like those enclosures, I didn't like the substrate, or I would have left her in there, to be honest with you, because she probably could have molted 2 times before I would have needed to take her out of there. But this substrate's a little bit better. It's nicer. It's something that we can add moisture to if we need to. And you notice I haven't put a water dish in here yet. I never do with species that will web right off the bat. I generally wait a few days to see what they do, because there's no sense of putting a water dish in some place that you think they're not going to web, because that'll be the exact spot that they do web. So I'll wait to see what she does. My idea would be to, where the shadow is here, would be to get a water dish right here. If not, then we'll get it in the front right there. She is a water drinker, so we definitely have to make sure that she has water available for her. So yeah, that's the rehouse of the Ceratogyrus darlingi from start to finish. Putting the substrate in, drilling the holes for the container. This is a 5-minute 40 video, but it only took me less than probably a minute and a half to get her out of the old enclosure into the new enclosure. I just love this spider. I love this species. I'd like to get a Marshalli just so I can compare the two. It's a possibility down the road. Again, I need to really cut back on things and kind of decide what I want to do. I keep thinking I find what I want to do, and then I always change my mind. But now she's going to adventure, and hopefully she'll web up some stuff. She may dig her own hole. Don't know. You never know with them what they're going to do. You can see she's nice and plump from her last feeding. That big, nice, juicy superworm that she got in the feeding video. So any of you guys that are out there that have these old world species that have this reluctance, you know, you kind of get scared sometimes, people do, to rehouse them. A lot of people are just like, you know, just push them over and they go. But so many people are scared, and they end up making a mistake because they're scared. So creating the safety barrier for me was just a smart thing to do, to be honest with you. It's safer for the spider. It's safer for me. I don't have to worry about escapes. The only time that I ever have to worry is that when I go to put that top on the vial, if they're a little edgy, they may come flying out, which I have not, to this day, have had an issue with. I have had a bunch of times where I've prodded the spider into the vial and it would just come right back out again. I fought with a few that way for a while, trying to rehouse them, but this way, again, is very easy. You can also cup method over top, but with these species that dig like this, sometimes it's kind of difficult to do that, because you got to get them up top. Then you have to hurry up and get a cup over them before they go down their holes again. A lot of people will plug their holes up, their burrows, when they get them up top, put something over top of their burrows, a piece of cardboard or whatever, so they can't go down there, and then cup them, you know, and slide something underneath the cup and put them on top. I think, to me, those are probably the 2 best ways to do it. Petco's way of doing it is an excellent way as well, using the hole method with a piece of cardboard, coaxing them up into a smaller container above the cardboard, sliding something underneath to cover the hole up, and then transfer. I'm sure you guys have all seen his method. That's an also very safe and easy way for both you and the spider to transfer. But I thought I'd give you guys a different way of doing it. And this works with Old World, New World. Arboreals are a little bit different. Again, you can do them this way, but I generally just put and I'll do an arboreal transfer when we go to do the Miranda. I'm going to cut the enclosure today or tomorrow, the lid, and get the holes in it, and get the hinges screwed on. Hopefully we'll do a transfer of her soon, and I'll show you how I transfer the arboreal species. Those ones tend to be a little bit more tricky and a little bit more difficult for me to do on camera. in the limited range. If I could set the camera up someplace where I can get a pan view of my work table, then that's what we'll do. But yep, something new, something different. And again, I hope that this helps some of you guys, especially some of these crazy old world species. This makes it so much more easy to, is that the way to say that? So much more easy? Or so much easier? Yeah, I don't think more easy would go together, right? It'd be easier to do these transfers like this. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Again, thanks for hanging in there with, again, there's a ton of content coming out this month. I may have to take a week or two vacation after this is all done. But I do so enjoy doing these videos for you guys. It's enriching for me. It's very fulfilling. It makes me happy. It gives me something to do, and it's like an accomplishment. And it's always fun when you set out to do something and then you make that accomplishment. I mean, I have goals with the channel, but until we get to a good certain point, those goals aren't going to be recognized probably till next year. So, and hopefully YouTube doesn't change things. Oh, and there's and one of them is to figure out a tripod that doesn't want to turn on me all the time. But Ceratogyrus darlingi, the rear horn baboon, successful, easy, quick transfer. I think I've talked longer than it took me to transfer. That would be normal for me though, right? Have a good day, everybody.